If you're an African, listen closely. I want you to pay full attention because this part of our history is never taught loudly. During World War I and World War II, when Britain and France went to war, they did not fight alone. They turned to their colonies. They turned to Africa. They went to Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana, Mali, and across the continent. They recruited hundreds of thousands of African men to join their armies. These African soldiers fought in some of the hardest battlefields in Burma, in Italy, in North Africa, and beyond. They fought with courage. They fought with strength. They fought with loyalty. But do you know what they were called? They were called the Expendables. An expendable means use them, spend them, lose them, it does not matter. So the colonizers, if an African soldier died, it was not counted as a loss. Their lives were considered replaceable, disposable. They pushed them to the front line, not because they were the strongest, but because their deaths were considered acceptable. And when the war ended in 1945, everything became clear. European soldiers were paid, they were honored, they were given pension, land and national respect. But the African soldiers who stood on the same battlefields, who faced the same bullets, who risked their lives just the same, they were given nothing. Yes, nothing. And when those African veterans demanded the payments and recognition they were promised, in places like Taroye in Senegal, they were massacred, they were unalived, they were silenced for asking for their rights. They fought and lost their lives, not for Africans' dreams, but for the ambition of Europe. And after the war, when decisions were being made about borders, about world power, about global leadership, Africa was not allowed to take part. Because to the colonial powers, Africa's role was to fight, not to be heard, to bleed, but not to decide. That is why Africa was not given permanent seat or lasting political power in the global order that followed the war. They used our strength, but denied our voice. So understand this. This history is not to bring anger, but awareness. This is to remind us that no one will value Africa more than Africans themselves. If we do not stand for our voice, it will be taken. If we do not protect our future, it will be shaped for us. History has already shown us no one is coming to save Africa. Africa must learn. Africa must rise. Africa must move with awareness, unity, and purpose. God bless Africa.